Cass here from GiveWave Studios, and on this one I'm going to show you guys how to turn your laser cut Prowler eye DIY kits into the curved versions that you can put on your Prowler build, or even attach to one of these cyberpunk mask type situations. All right, let's get it. All right, so first thing we're going to do is remove the protective cover. Next, we're going to assemble your LED module. Now, your DIY kit is going to come with this pre-assembled, but just in case you needed to take this off, I'm just going to show you guys how to do this. So you remove the cover with the button facing down, or else everything's going to fall out. Okay, you're going to grab the spacer, which should already be on the other part of your case, like so. All right, and then you have your screws. Okay, you're going to find the smooth side of your part, and then you're going to make the button face that, so like so. Okay, and then you're going to grab your corresponding cover, kind of press it in until you hear a little bit of a click, and then grab a screwdriver and put your screws in. All right, test your lights, make sure everything is working properly. Top button changes the colors, on and off switch is on the side, and the charger port is on the side as well. Now, because these are one direction, when you put them left and right of each other, the on button is going to be on the top on one, and then on the other one is going to be at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and safety first. I'm going to grab a pair of cotton gloves, and we're going to grab our heat gun. Work on these one at a time, and we're going to heat the entirety of the acrylic. Try to avoid heating up the case as much as possible. You don't want this back area to bend too much, nor do you want to destroy the case. So heat evenly on both sides. Notice that I have the heat coming this way onto it so that it doesn't backfire onto the case. Okay, once our part is heated up and it has some good soft flexibility to it, you're going to find something circular in nature or spherical in nature, and you're going to start forming your visor. Okay, and at this point you can kind of give it whatever shape you want. Make sure it just matches up with either your EVA foam prop, or if you're doing a 3D printed prop, that's even better. You can just directly place it on the 3D print and make this mold to the shape of your item. Right, in my case, I'm going to be placing this on an EVA foam prop, so I'm just going to organically shape it into what I feel like it should be. And then when you heat up the other one, you just try to match the shape as best you can. And if you mess up or you don't like the shape, you can reheat it until it's flat and then start the process over again. All right, so if you are using my patterns for the Prowler helmet, just to give you a general sense of where this lives, so the lip of the battery pack here sits right at this edge right there. So it sits at this edge, and in the back corner touches the pipe right there. So with that position in mind, the corner here overlaps the seam here. So back there touches the piping, angled. Okay, corner overlaps the seam, so that is right here the general spacing that you would do for this. So it's about a quarter of an inch away from the center seam, and you just mirror that on both sides and just try to make sure that they are as even as possible. Again, when you're doing this on a 3D print, you don't have to freehand it as much. You can just, put it on the hard plastic and press it onto, obviously with your gloves on, and get the shape that you want. And even if you are doing it on this type of stuff, okay, you can do something similar. You can either hand shape it, or you can just heat it and push it directly onto the plastic to make sure that it follows the curves nice and smoothly. And then as far as attaching this to one of these, you just put a nice big piece of Velcro on the back of this, and it should hold it in place fairly well. And if that doesn't work and it's still loose, you can put another piece of Velcro, small piece of black Velcro underneath the tip right there. Or even better, you can find where some of these screw holes are, screw a hole that matches up with your eyepiece, and then screw your bolt back in with your piece in place. That way you're absolutely sure that it doesn't move. All right, as you can see from my EVA foam helmet, I haven't cut my eye holes yet. That's because I wanted to wait till the last minute to align everything properly. Now, if you use patterns, of course you can cut the eyes out prior, but you never really know how your acrylic eyes are going to come out, so I leave that for last. Basically, all I do is just put a piece of tape and, you know, bring it up to my eyes, look at the ceiling, and trace the lines where there aren't any circles to get the eye shape out. And then once I have the eye shape, I can go ahead and put that on a piece of EVA foam, okay? Cut that EVA foam, put it behind this one, and cut two eyes simultaneously. Okay, got my two eyepieces. I'm gonna make a makeshift double-sided tape by rolling a small piece of tape onto itself and gluing it onto itself. Make sure that, just line that up as best you can. Okay, once we have that, I'm gonna grab a Sharpie, coat the back of the foam, and then I'm gonna bring it to my prop and place it where I believe it should go. It should be right around here. And so now if I press this onto the foam, it should basically behave like a stamp. And I can just kind of self-correct this. It's not perfect, but it's a good general area of where the eye should be cut. And you just want to do that on both sides, and then you can cut out your eyes and be sure that it'll more or less line up with the position of your eyes here. All right, so at this point, you just kind of put your Velcro on the back there, align everything, and you can put just the smallest dab of like super glue at the tips, or maybe down here at the bottom, just somewhere, so it's not just hanging on by the back of the case, so somewhere else so that it doesn't sag down. So in my case, I want these to be removable, so what I've done is I've attached magnets to the back of this and drilled a hole on the side of the helmet. That's way this would come in, but I still have the problem of this potentially coming down. And to solve this, what I'm going to do is grab the smallest drill bit ever and drill into one of the holes at the corner of the eye, and then I'm going to stick a piece of paper clip in there and basically make like a hook that hangs on to the eye slit so that it doesn't slide down. Right, so as you can see, there is my piece. I can rotate it in here, and I can make it tighter or looser by pulling back or pushing forward. So there we go. Reach in on the inside. Okay, and now it's hooked on. So if I bounce, everything's just gonna stay on, but it's also gonna be very removable, and you can see the hooks on the inside here. Okay, so if anything, if you're doing this method, try not to have it curl in too much for fear of stabbing your foam. All right, and here's your final result with our lights mounted. They do have a secondary set on the inside here. Those are also available on GiveWave Studios.com. And then eventually I will be putting lights inside of these, so you can see the slot here for the battery pack, but it's not ready just yet. This is the backpack that Prowler wears, and this is an example of what it looks like on those other Cyberpunk helmets from Amazon. All right, this has been Kat from GiveWave Studios. I hope this one was useful. If you guys learned something, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Try to read those as often as possible. And if you have any idea of what I should do next, let it be known in there as well. All right, y'all. Cheers.